Yasna,
Yes?
I understand that no matter what I say, it won't change your mind. But please be careful. First, observe them from a distance, and only then take action.
I will be cautious. Like always. Just because I'm acting against your orders doesn't mean I intend to be foolish, sir.
It's comforting in its own way that even in an act of insubordination, you want to remain professional. I'll let you know when you cross their perimeter. Once you've crossed, hide the rover. Behind a bend, or under a ledge. Telemetry observation will be vital. Once we know the camp's weaponry situation, we'll decide what to do next.
Copy that. Hey! What was that?
I've set up a warning signal. Now you're near enough that they can see the rover.
Okay, the rover's hidden.
You've yet to find a convenient hideout for yourself, from where you can see their base.
Oh, shit. I think I'm too far away. I headed into the open area.
Don't panic. Since no one's interrupted us, I'll assume they haven't located you yet.
Some object is flying over their base.
Can you tell me more?
It's 15, 20 meters high. It has an upright silhouette, and it looks like a balloon.
It could be a balloon.
And that doesn't surprise you?
Not everything that flies needs jet engines. What markings does it have?
RB1. What does it mean?
It's an ID number. Denotes an advanced scout balloon. How far from you is it?
Around 400.
Not as far as I would like it to be. Might have you within camera range.
It's a field base, multi-module, for about several dozen people. Rather well equipped. They have a second antimat, as if the first one wasn't enough.
Is it active?
Probably not, but Proton alone knows. There's lots of transporters here.
I'm not surprised. Missions with a large crew, transport modules were an integral part of the field camp.
Remind me, how many crew members were they supposed to send on the Invincible?
Over 100.
Great.
What about people? Can you see anyone?
Not yet. Maybe they're hiding in modules.
Most of them for sure, but I'd be surprised if they didn't assign in.
I see someone.
Just one?
For now, yes.
Is that all?
I think so.
Then please keep going. You can assume that their equipment has already detected your presence. Or it will soon enough. There's no point in further postponing the inevitable.
Still, I'm glad that I stopped. I feel better knowing that there's no heavily armed military waiting for me there.
Me too, Doctor. Me too.
Too bad I don't have a white flag.
We'll most likely lose contact soon. So let me be clear. Your situation is highly precarious. You cannot trust the Alliance or expect them to be willing to help. If things don't go our way, I'll do everything in my power to negotiate your safe return to the Commonwealth. Worst case scenario, we'll opt for a prisoner exchange. Until then, please cooperate with them. And during the interrogation, don't resist. Astrobiologists generally do not possess information that's sensitive to the Commonwealth. At worst, you'll give away the details of our last mission.
Hang on, sir. I'm not going there to give away secrets. On the contrary, I'm the one with questions. I need to find out what's going on.
I'm afraid it's not that simple. Your only chance to get any information out of them is to offer something in return. Prove that you're a valuable...
Hostage?
I was looking for a better word, but yes, a valuable hostage.
Since we have no idea what's going to happen, I want you to know that you were always a fair commander, even if you were quite strict. I guess what I'm trying to say is...
Please, stop, Doctor. And tell me when you get back. In person. Understood?
Yes, sir. How odd.
What?
There's no one here. Nobody.
Impossible. Even if there aren't many of them in the camp, someone would have noticed you.
I'm going. What have I got to lose anyway?
Your life, Doctor.
I'm going in. The silhouette I saw.
Yes?
It's just a robot. Clear. For now. I can't hear anyone either. Moving on. Still quiet. It's eerie. I'm at the central module. In the headquarters.
You walked in, just like that.
Yeah? The doors were open.
Unbelievable. Just unbelievable.
I have a record of their mission. Each step, location, units, including dates.
I'm all ears.
Day 0, landing place. Their main ship's in sector AQ-28.
The Invincible? What? They didn't move it?
Huh, seems so.
I'll try to track it down. Please tell me what else is in there.
Like us, they became interested in the ocean. They got there on the 7th day.
Quite late.
Guess they weren't in a hurry. Before setting up this base, they were stationed not far from here, but seemed very determined to reach this area. They dug a vast system of tunnels.
When did they finally get here?
On the 15th day of the mission. They conducted research and during excavations found, you won't guess, metal structures.
So we had no chance to outrun them.
Yeah. And they were already at an advanced stage of works when we were still in orbit. In the end, they sent a convoy to a neighboring sector.
So that was their last move?
Well, there's no information about their return. And maybe I'll find them there.
Highly probable. Do you know what the current day of their mission is?
They left on the 25th day. That's all I know. Well, I can't back out now. I have to follow them.
Well, it's your decision. Although I admit I'm also starting to wonder what you'll find.
People, Astrogator. They must be somewhere.
I'm sending a satellite. Soon I'll have an image of the area where the ship landed. We'll see if the Invincible's still there.
I'll continue to search their base. On the 24th day, they sent a convoy north to the sector. Oh, to the sector where I found Gorski.
You suspect they went after him, having detected his signal?
Let's not get paranoid, Astrogator. I think they've got a device for intercepting alarm signals. There isn't much of it. Single record. Poor guy. He's dead. Waited help for over a day. Critically low blood saturation. He died of hypoxia. At the time of his death, he was...
Biasna, is it necessary? This information will no longer
somewhere
help
near
anyone.
the city. 18561.
754. Yes. Skorsky. I'm sorry.
You lied to me. You lied how he died.
I knew you would blame yourself.
Well, of course I do. I could have saved him. Left him that fucking tank. Why didn't you let me?
I made the right decision, Yasna. Given the circumstances and our knowledge at the time, there was a high risk your sacrifice would kill you both.
Fuck. We let him die.
No, Yasna. As I said, I made the call, not you.
It would be easier to think so, but I can't. One more thing. I realize we still need to work together. So, I'll submit my reports as usual. But that doesn't mean everything's fine.
Understood, Doctor. I appreciate your professionalism.
Several units can be controlled from here. I wonder which... A view from above. It's a flying probe. I'm betting it's the one that detected my presence.
Can you extract data from it?
Sure. Never too much data. Especially in the current situation. I just need to find a place to land it. I got the feed. But I can't get it to move. It's got a weak signal. Must be too far away. Ah, damn. One's unavailable.
Probably out of reach, or they took it.
Yasna, focus. What now? Oh, bollocks. The excavation site is behind a force field. That's where the convoy was going.
If these are Dirac emitters, that's an impenetrable barrier. There must be a field switch in the base.
But where?
In a way, that was a rather unusual maneuver, to cut off the path back to base.
Time seems to be slipping through my fingers like sand. So much sand.
You sound tired, Yasna.
Because I am tired, Astrogator. There's something I need to do before moving on. I'm entering the next module. I guess it's a biolab. They had the opportunity to study organisms preserved in the ocean. Wow. They found the same species of fish.
Did they confirm the similarity to those on Earth?
Yes. Lots of similarities. It started rotting.
It?
The fish.
In a bacteria-free environment? How so?
All living organisms serve as breeding grounds for bacteria. And there were both fish and humans in here. No longer alive. Apart from one, I've never seen anything like this. They discovered a new organ. Even managed to run some tests already. According to their conclusions,
Yes?
it detects electromagnetic waves. That's why those fish were swimming away from our probe.
In other words, they've come across probes or something similar before. Something that threatened them.
Could guess her. In order to develop such an organ, they must have had a strong external stimulus. They detect the waves to survive. Still, nothing. It looks like a geology lab. One of these diagrams shows a geological cross-section. As suspected, it's all metal below the surface, of relatively thin layers of rock. But compared to the rest of the continent, the deposits in this region are significantly younger. The range of their ground measurements covers a much wider area. To my eye, it seems they used advanced sonar. What they dug up here stretches for tens of kilometers.
What do you mean? What's in the ground, Doctor?
Metal deposits. Those structures. We still don't know where they came from. In such a peculiar form. They conducted a soil survey 500 meters deep.
Oh, that's a big piece of history, so to speak. What did they find?
Unbelievable. Not only do we know nothing about their origin, but the arrangement of these deposits is sort of puzzling. A ring system with a distinct center. The center of it is in... under the city. Huh. The one I escaped from.
So their presence there had nothing to do with us?
Looks like it.
Did they determine the entity's function? Origin? Anything?
Well, it's hard to say. There's nothing here about it. This base stands on the outer ring. Millions of years ago, life was abundant on the planet.
That would match our assumptions.
Yeah. Sub-Delta 92 class planets have very favorable conditions for the development of a biosphere.
So what happened? Did they draw any conclusions?
According to them, the extinction of life was caused by a supernova explosion.
But ground activity does not indicate...
It happened long ago. Longer than we anticipated. They've dated this event to 10 million years ago.
Only this one? The supposed end of Lyran's civilization?
Well, that's never been proven. There was practically no trace of them.
All right. What happened after?
Life was slowly recovering, but never returned to the pre-supernova peak.
Not enough time?
No. At first, it developed quickly, but then slowed down and declined.
Because another disaster?
Astrogator, the change in the biosphere development curve coincides with the occurrence of ferruginous clays.
This whole metal contraption, do I understand correctly?
Yes. I don't know what that has to do with it, though. Metals are really not that dangerous. The radioactive deposits marked here are not a definitive obstacle for life either. The biosphere has the ability to perfectly adapt, develop defense mechanisms, and fight back effectively.
Well, unless the planet is hit by a supernova wave.
Yes. Such sudden events leave no time for adaptation. Even if we assume that these metals were lethal to organic life, that extinction shouldn't last forever. And yet, life never again developed beyond the waters.
Does this mean another Dominator has appeared on the land? Or one that leaves no trace behind?
Therein lies the rub. The Alliance have conducted a great deal of research. That they haven't found a logical explanation for this phenomenon is, to put it mildly, disturbing. Clearly, we're dealing with something beyond our comprehension. And I mean human comprehension in general. The scientists excavated some animal remains and reconstructed their hypothetical appearance. Judging by the size, these must be fossils from the deepest layers, from before the supernova explosion. I could spend all day here if I could.
I'm not surprised, Doctor.
Force field's down. I opened the passage. We can follow the convoy route now.
When you're ready, Doctor. One more minute, and our satellite will be over their ship. Oh, lucky. Clouds are low. Unfortunately, their ship's not here. Neither there, or...
Are you still looking?
Mm-hmm. Not here either. Ah, bingo.
Yes?
Found it. They're still on the planet. Didn't fly away.
Good to know. Thank you. I'm leaving the base. Going after the convoy. Well, I've got to the place where they were digging. It's hard to miss. They set up a huge machine at the center. It must weigh hundreds of... no, thousands of tons. The ship that brought all of this must be...
Gigantic, yes. The Invincible surpasses any of our units, even the largest orbital stations. In my opinion, it's a bit excessive.
Gives me the chills just knowing it's not far from here.
Well, maybe you won't have to see it at all.
The excavator has a massive work area. They had photos of the site in the database, taken before they started digging. It's unrecognizable. Inside, there's a structure. Yes, a metal one. Similar to the ones on the surface. But these are completely hidden underground. According to the schemes from the geological unit, metal can be found in every part of this area. Interesting. They found a sizable object deep underground. Stands out from the rest. It's not a part of the structures, but rather an independent, autonomous machine.
Also metal?
Yes.
So, a robot? Or something else that finally looks familiar?
Well, it looks a lot more like a robot than the other structures. There's also a couple of smaller cranes here. In comparison to the Colossus, they look like it's pups.
Yes, I got it. They are big machines. Bigger than ours. How far to that convoy?
Not far. Even if I make a few stops, it won't take long. Astrogator, I've already covered most of the convoy route. I'm entering a more enclosed area. A ravine, to be precise.
I see. Can I count on a tactical report?
Of course. A simple analysis of the situation won't hurt anyone.
That's for sure.
The road ahead leads straight to where the convoy was heading.
Well then, what are you waiting for? Any doubts?
No, I don't. I still think we have to go there. If they're not in the base, they must be somewhere, damn it.
So, what's on your mind?
I can just drive in there, straight to the convoy. Or try and take a side path, to remain unnoticed until the very last moment.
Bold assumption. Could be an unnecessary detour. I leave that to your judgment, though. It's your call, Yasmin.
All right, I'll try to get there via the side path. The radiation level is rising rapidly. It's starting to get interesting.
I'll pretend I didn't hear that, Doctor.
I found a way to the convoy. What might interest you, sir, is that it appears to be a mechanically drilled tunnel. Circular, precise.
I'm more curious about what's on the other end. Although curious might not be quite the right word. Yeah, you all right?
Yes, I am. Oh, shit. They're close. At least one. There's not a soul. I don't see anyone. Oh, no. Astrogator. They're dead.
So you found someone.
I didn't let that thought get to me. Didn't want to. Finding them was my priority. It could have been just another abandoned place, not this.
What exactly happened to them?
Well, that's a good question. I'm not even sure what they were doing here. Found the antimat. It looks damaged, but its log may still be intact.
Copy that. Proceed.
Okay. I'm getting into the antimat's recorder. What do we have here? They were preparing for departure. The convoy's heading somewhere. They're getting close to where I am. They're here. Sending a probe. Oh. They're tunneling their way through with a beam of antimatter.
How?
Looks like they found whatever they were looking for in that ominous tunnel. Of course. Those containers ended up in one of the transporters. I wonder if it's still nearby. Huh. Shame. The transport's leaving. Something's going on. Next slide. People rushing out of the tunnel. Running from whatever's in there.
But are we still considering whether you...
One of the antimats has fired straight into the tunnel.
And? What happened?
There's nothing else. Only darkness.
Can't you see what it was aimed?
Total panic. Everyone's trying to escape. The second antimat, that's what destroyed it. People are frozen with fear. There's also a second antimat. It's shooting into the air.
Both were faulty.
It's firing directly at the crew. Shooting them. One by one. It's horrifying what an antimatter beam does to the human body.
I'm sorry you have to see this, Yasna. Regis 3 doesn't...
Someone hid behind a rock.
How do you know?
This antimat has thermal imagery. Hiding from it made no difference. One man has raised his hands in surrender. If only a machine could take pity on him.
With a proper programming, it could recognize such gestures, but it could never feel compassion. No.
It killed him. The machine just killed him. Oh, fuck.
Yasna?
The last photo is from a few moments ago. I'm on it.
Bloody hell, so it's not dead after all. The machine that massacred the Alliance is still operational, and it could target you at any moment.
Let's hope not.
Perhaps it's best to hope. While moving away. If that's all...
What about that tunnel?
Right.
So? I'll go check it out.
I know you will, Yasna. Proceed.
I can hear a rhythmic, metallic sound coming from beyond the tunnel.
Something still active. Take your time, Yasna. Don't rush.
I can't hear. I don't understand you, sir. The audio's breaking up.
Not unexpected. You are in a...
I'll get back to you once I reach the end.
Understood.
It's an Arctan. Coming at me. Huh. Carrying something. I got out. Well, inside a cave.
Yasna, can you hear me? Over.
Copy that. I don't feel too... My head feels like it's bursting from pressure.
Breathe, Yasna. You need to rest.
No. No. I'm better now.
All right, then. Can you tell me what's in there?
Seems like this robot started a task and then got stuck in a loop.
What task?
Carrying boxes. It took one but never left.
Why do you think it's stuck?
Well, it goes in circles, using the same path. This place is full of metal bushes.
Same as the ones before.
Well, the lower parts of the bushes are, how to put it, fruitless.
So the Alliance came to pick the fruits.
I'm pretty sure the box is filled with research material. Those fruits.
Could you retrieve them somehow?
It won't be easy to snatch a crate from its steel grip. I'll come closer first. I think their crew took some soil samples. There's this chipped rock, revealing what lies beneath the surface.
Which is more metal?
Yes, a metal interior. Roots are exposed as well. They're not embedded in any rock, but in a tissue-like alloy.
Little bushes growing out of metal soil.
Yeah, that's one way of putting it.
So, all the bushes in this area, and there are plenty of them as I understand, appear to grow on the rock, but deep down their roots are embedded in metal. Perhaps you should take a closer look at them, Doctor. Can you please check them, Yasta?
Do you have anything specific in mind?
Doctor, if it's all metal...
Then I'll use a detector. Right. I'm checking. Give me a sec.
Perfect.
Everything matches. There's metal all around. And the bushes have a direct connection with the whole system.
Interesting. Sounds similar...
To the structures I saw following Gorski. Yes. Huh. Or perhaps it's... looks like 2 generations. One, old, dead, a relic. Second, these bushes grew in the remains of the former generation.
Hang on. Are you saying that this new generation is alive? And the old one used to be alive?
We can't rule it out.
And you say that as a biologist? I haven't heard you mention cells, membranes, organs, or green bodies, which leads me to one conclusion. That thing is not alive, Doctor.
Well, we used to calling all life proteinaceous, especially ourselves. But that's on Earth. The universe doesn't give a damn about our classifications.
Yes, are you abandoning your profession? All you have learned, discovered, researched so far?
I'm just opening up to the unknown. Shit! I can't handle it anymore.